this video, I would like to cover some of the enhancements or improvements, if you will, to the user story generator, if you want to call it that. I've added in story points, which some preset values based on the Fibonacci sequence. Priorities have also been added, sprints, and hours. Now these values are all customizable and completely overridable because this is in effect a HTML input type text. But when you combine it with a data list, it affords you the functionality of an autocomplete as well as a drop-down, as well as an add new feature. So that's pretty nifty, and it gives you full flexibility. You can control those values here and set them to be whatever you wish. Right, so this, in terms of the examples, is centered around a contract lifecycle management project, but it could be any type of project that you wish to add here. The Guide Me is that feature that walks you step by step through the different components. If you wish, you can leave it turned on or you can turn it off. Filters are another way that you can data mine this table, the datatables.net table. You can turn it on, turn it off. And there is that custom search builder as well that'll let you build your search with some logic. Right, so that is the newest changes from the perspective for the drop downs. Now I gave a little thought to the edit feature and thought it'd be nice not to have to go back into the grid each and every time to then click edit. So I put a previous and next buttons on the edit screen, and I'll show you that in a second. What you see here is by default the grid, the table, whatever you want to call it, the list view if you're thinking Salesforce, is being sorted based on category. Now for purposes of the order in which the data table actually would walk you through previous and next, it's based on the data added for that. So if I change the sorting to there and I click edit and I do previous, you see how it went there. So let's close this for a second. Let's change the sorting back to this and let's click. So let's see what happens. Let's click edit. Okay, so now that started from the top down and you've already hit the buffer, if you will, to say, hey, we're done here. Well, you're really not, because if I go previous, then the row you can't see is down here. So if you think the previous next is off, it really kind of comes down to, what are you sorting on? So if you want to go in the order, top to bottom, whatever you wish. So this previous goes there, this next goes there, this next goes there, then you're going to want to have it sorted by date added. But because everyone sorts a little differently or has their focus differently, it's not a bug. It's just that it's based on the rows when they were added, and those are the row numbers that are set behind the scenes, and that's how it works. So as you can see here, the form data changes. So let's change this to another value. Let's change it to a group and let's save it. So here again now, we've got still on the row that we changed. We're holding fast there. But if we do the previous, we can walk up and down our rows. Now if we get to the top, no additional. So when you do an update and you save it, your date added is going to change to be the oldest or the most current, depending on how you're sorting it. And that's going to just impact it. But it remembers, it knows, remembers. The code just accounts for it, that's all. So if you make any additional changes, you can certainly see what happens there, and we can change this from a user to something like that. Save the changes, and now you'll see it just got swapped down to the last entry based on the sort, because that was the one that was updated. But yeah, I can still work up and down. So hopefully this feature is helpful, more efficient. You certainly don't have to use it. You certainly can click on, a row and do it one at a time, whatever you wish. I just thought as you get more and more rows, maybe it'd be easier to cycle through with that. I don't recall if I blocked this so that as you scroll for more rows, your header stays. If I did before, then there's really nothing new there. Those are the changes here with the latest release. The GitHub account, obviously where this is running right now, has been updated to reflect these changes. Feel free to download the code. It is MIT licensed, and I hope it helps. Thanks.